These are the props. Just a blanket and a block. A block is going to be helpful to have, and a coffee table. A nearby coffee table will likely do. In a pinch, let's start down on our backs. Lie down with your knees bent. And then place a hand onto your belly. Place the other hand onto your chest. Begin to anchor into your breath. Create a little bit of friction at the back of the throat to make that brushing sound. And now take a few breaths, prioritizing breath into the front and the back of the body. So inhale into the belly and the low back, the chest and the shoulder blades. And as you inhale, imagine that the entire front of the body could lift up and the back of the body could lower down towards the floor. That is in fact what's happening. But in your imagination, exaggerate that movement, almost like you are pushing the floor down lower, lifting your hands up higher with your body, with the breath. Take one more breath into the front and the back. Now let's change our focus to the sides of the body, specifically the sides of the rib cage. So you could wiggle the palms of your hands onto the sides of your rib cage, kind of wiggling them up towards your armpits as much as is comfortable. If that's just plain not comfortable, then you could cross the arms over the body and then hug your hands into the sides of your ribs that way. Whatever you are choosing, begin to take full, smooth breaths into the sides of your rib cage. As you inhale, imagine flaring the lungs out wide, moving the rib cage wider apart. And exhale, follow the breath, follow the body as you condense back towards the center with the exhale. Keep going. And now pause for a moment enough to gather your navel down and in towards the spine and then up. Like you're trying to draw your belly button in and then tuck it up into your rib cage. Keep that engagement in the abdomen, specifically in the navel, and now return to that rib cage breath. So keep the belly button in. And focus your breaths into the side ribs. Relax your jaw, relax your face. Take one more cycle of focused costal breathing. Then release your hands, return to a natural breath for just a moment. And then place one hand on your low belly, the other hand on your collarbones. Take 3 full cycles of breath, now imagining that you could lengthen the spine, create more length along the spine with the breath. So as you Inhale, breathe in towards the very top lobes of the lungs, all the way down into the pelvic bowl. As you inhale, use the breath to move the hands farther apart. As you exhale, use that contraction to bring the hands closer together. One more time. At the end of your last exhalation, take the hands away from your body, return to a natural breath for just a moment. And now let's get into the psoas of it all. So we are going to participate in an active hamstring and psoas day. Another time we'll do a more passive hamstring and psoas day. Today we're gonna fire it up. So knees bent, feet on the floor. Draw the right knee in towards your chest. This is our short range. So you can release the knee and now place the hand onto your thigh and press your hand into your thigh. Press the thigh back into your hand. So we're going to do this from side to side. So notice how this feels. We are activating the front hip flexor and very much so the psoas, which is another hip flexor that goes from the low rib cage all the way down to the inner upper leg. Take another full breath in, press. And then exhale, release. Draw the left knee in now. And then left hand to left thigh. Press, press, press. Press thigh into hand, hand into thigh. Notice if this side feels different. Relax whatever doesn't need to be working. Maybe that's your eyes, maybe that's your tongue or your jaw. Inhale and press. And exhale, release. Right side. Lift the knee now over your hips. This is our neutral range. We just did our short range. Here's our neutral range. Right hand to right thigh. Press one into the other. Connect with a full, smooth breath. Engage with fire and strength and courage in one part of your body, and just be utterly chill in the rest of your body. Inhale and press. Also notice how this side feels. And exhale, release. Lift the left knee now so that it's over the left hip. Hand to thigh, neutral range. Press and connect. Working hard on the left side. Taking the day off on the right side. Breathe. Inhale, press. Exhale, release. Long range. Lift the right knee over the hip and then move it away a few degrees. Place the hand on now the upper thigh and press hand into thigh, thigh into hand. Full breath in, press more firmly. Exhale, release. Lift the left foot, bring the knee over the hip, and then away a few inches, a few degrees. Open the angle between the thigh and the torso, and then wherever you can manage a sturdy placement of the left hand onto the thigh, find it and press one into the other. Again, notice if this side feels different. This may be as simple as one side feels more strong than the other. There may be almost like a different texture, just a different quality of sensation from one side to the other. Take another full breath in, press. And exhale, release. Hug both knees in towards your chest. Take a full breath in, puff your belly up towards your thighs. And exhale, draw the knees in closer. Inhale, fill all the way up. And then empty all the way out. Drop the knees to the left. Open the right arm out to the side. Inhale fully, fill your belly, fill your chest. Exhale as you change sides. Connect with a full, smooth breath. So why would we want to strengthen our hip flexors? Why would we want to strengthen our psoas? Well, we would prefer them to be strong than weak because they are more able to perform their functions. If they're able to perform their functions, then they've got a little more resilience. So if you've been sitting for a long time, they may be a little bit less inclined to get locked up or just feel super icky. When we strengthen the psoas, the same effect happens. So when the psoas is strong, it has more of a tolerance. So a weak or taxed psoas can also cause some low back pain. Take a full breath in, fill the belly, fill the chest. And exhale, release here. Make your way onto hands and knees. Take a few cycles of cat-cow. As you arch and inwardly round the spine in these cycles of cat-cow, can you also imagine moving the spine longer in opposite directions? So not only are you moving up and down, but you're also moving outward. So maybe this is helpful if you think about initiating the movement from the very center point of the spine and then using each segment of movement to extend the spine longer away from itself in either direction. Take one more round of cat-cow. As you lift up, reach the crown of the head and the tailbone a little more. And as you round in, press into the hands and the knees a little bit more. And then return to a neutral spine. Take the knees a little bit wider than the hips, bring the big toes together, and press back into a child's pose. In your child's pose, walk your fingertips forward on the mat, like claws, dig into the floor, and take a few cycles of breath here. In this claw-y child's pose, we are creating traction in the shoulders. We are moving structures farther away from each other. So using this anchoring, we are inviting some stretch into the psoas here as well by increasing the space between the vertebrae, increasing the space between the shoulder girdle and the hips. Take another full breath in. And a full breath out. Rock the weight forward onto your hands and your knees. Bring the knees under the hips, tuck the toes, and make your way into downward facing dog. Do all the things that you like to do in your downward facing dog. Whatever activities you are engaging with in the body, surround them with breath. And then step your feet a little bit closer together. And then lift your right leg up and back behind you, bend the knee, and then drop that heel towards the left sitting bone. Press down firmly and equally into both hands. Take some full smooth breaths. Breaths. One more full breath in. Press down a little more. And then exhale, bring the leg out and back behind you and float the leg down to the mat. Inhale, lower your knees. Exhale, child's pose. Rest here for a moment, perhaps circle out the wrists. Or open and close the hands. On an in-breath, rock forward to tabletop. And on an out-breath, down dog. Step the feet closer together. And then lift the left leg up and back. Bend the left knee and drop the heel towards the right sitting bone. Press down super firmly into both hands. So instead of arcing the body, open. Create stability through both shoulders. Take another full breath in. And then exhale, close the hip and lower the left leg. Inhale, lower the knees. Exhale, child's pose. If you'd like to give the arms a little rest here, you could drape them back behind you. Inhale forward to tabletop. Exhale, down dog. Step the feet out to the edges of your mat. Bend the knees. Walk your hands in towards your feet. Drape your spine over your legs. Imagine you could make your brain extra heavy, your head extra heavy, to again move structures away from each other to create space. Bring your hands to your shins, and as you inhale, actively reach the crown of your head forward away from your tailbone. Exhale, fold forward, knees bent any amount. Inhale, halfway lift again. Exhale, fold forward. Lift the chest, reach the tips of the ears forward. And exhale, empty the breath, fold inward. Bend into the knees, relax the arms, shoulders, cheeks, eyeballs, and roll up the spine until you're standing upright. Take your time. Once your head is up, spread the toes wide, suction the toes down onto the mat, and then inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, bring the hands together in front of your chest. Make your way to the top of your mat. So I feel like as yoga teachers, we always, we throw so many anatomical terms at you, like you're gonna know what it is. But then when it comes to the psoas, we're like, they might not know what this thing is. Just to cover the bases, when we're talking about the hip flexor for today's class, the hip flexor, so the psoas is also a hip flexor. We are talking about this thin strip of tissue that goes from the top of the quad to the top of the hip points here. And the psoas is a muscle that's, it's a deep, is it a deep abdominal muscle or a superficial back muscle? I don't remember. A little bit of both. But it connects around your T12, your thoracic vertebra 12, goes down through your body, connects to the inside of the pelvis, and then down and into the inside of the leg here. So that's what we're looking for sensation. Just so you have, you probably already knew, but just so you know where we're really focusing. Please step, continue to stand at the top of your mat. Place your feet at hip distance apart. Spread the toes wide. Reach your arms up overhead. Let's continue to build the pose by drawing the navel in towards the spine and then gather it up towards the diaphragm. Shift more weight onto your right foot. Press down into your right foot, reach up through your arms, and now lift your left knee up towards your chest. Flex that foot. Find your balance. Maybe fix your gaze on a point, a still, unmoving point in front of you. Continue to actively lift the knee up towards your chest. Gather the navel towards the spine, and now move your front ribs in towards your back ribs. From here, begin to transition towards a long runner's lunge with the right foot in front, the left foot back. Take as many miniature steps as it takes to get you there safely and well. And now you have options here, which are to take the fingertips towards the floor, or you could keep the hands on the hips. What will happen now is that you will work the front leg towards straight as you bend the back knee. And we're going to go back and forth a few times like that. You could choose to have the fingertips down on the floor. You could also choose to do this quite more upright. So maybe hands on the hips. And bend the front knee, straighten the back, straighten the front knee, bend the back knee. And then pause once you're in that long runner's lunge with the front knee bent. Place the back knee down, preferably on something soft, and then bring yourself upright. Organize the legs into two 90-degree angles. Find your block or whatever you're using to bring the floor up closer to you. Maybe that's a side table or a coffee table. And then bring it to the outside of the front leg. Place your hands on your hips. And now drag your front heel back as you drag the back knee forward. I think I mixed that up just as much as I possibly could. You are creating this action. So pull the front heel towards you, slide the back knee forward. Relax your face. Lift the crown of your head up towards the ceiling. If nothing else happens, full smooth breaths, please. Inhale, create that dragging and pulling action one more time. And then exhale, soften. Now shift your tailbone forward, so it's a little tuck under of the pelvis. Shift the tailbone forward. We're looking for sensation along that front hip flexor. Once you find it, draw a breath towards it. And if you would like to look for a little more sensation, then you could begin to bend into the front knee. This doesn't need to be a huge bend. Just look for that accuracy, that specificity of sensation. And if you start to lose it, then really reinforce the sliding forward of the tailbone. One more breath here in that active stretch. And exhale, release it. Come back to your two 90-degree angles. Now we'll head into a side bend towards the front leg side, so away from the back leg. So take your right fingertips maybe onto the block, maybe onto your side table or coffee table, and then reach the left arm up and over your ear. Make your breaths full and even. You could choose to stay here for a few more cycles of breath in what is more of a passive version of this shape. Passive in no way implies Anything less than, I feel like societally the word passive gets kind of a bad rap. It's just an option. It's just one way to be. So you could either stay in here and kind of like the more stretchy version, or if you would like to explore being a little bit more participatory, then you could here also shift the tailbone forward and maybe bend into that front knee, seeking out perhaps a little more intensity of sensation. Nothing better or worse, just different choices that you could make. Take another full breath into your side bend. And then exhale, slowly bring yourself up. And lower the left arm down. Heel toe the right foot out to the right a little bit more. And now rock forward. You could bring your hands to a block. You could bring your hands to the mat. If it's available and appealing, you could even bring your forearms down. But instead of choosing the position that looks deepest to you, instead prioritize length over depth. So wherever you are, reach the breastbone forward. Even if you can curl and round in and go down further, not really necessary. Focus how you on the shape that allows you to continue to lengthen through the spine. And take a full breath in. And then exhale, soften, bring the front knee back to meet the other one. And let's all meet in a knees down plank pose. So hands under the shoulders, rest of the body in like a diagonal line. And now let's create that isometric bookending or kind of like scissor action by dragging the hands in towards the knees and then pushing the knees forward towards the hands. Connect with your breath. If your muscles start to get all trembly and quivery, imagine that you could use the breath to smooth out all of that movement. Inhale, engage a little bit more. And then exhale, soften. With the knees down, bend the elbows 1 inch and hold. Bend the elbows another inch and hold. Bend the elbows 1 more inch and hold. Now you could choose to stay here and hold here, or lower down and rest whenever you feel inclined to. You could also choose to press up 1 inch and hold. Press up another inch and hold. And then press up all the way. Again, you can continue to be holding in that halfway position, or you could be so deep into child's pose right now. It's totally up to you. Or you could bend the elbows again, 1 inch and hold. Bend an inch and hold. Bend an inch and hold. And then ease yourself the rest of the way down. Reach the legs out long behind you. Inhale, reach the breastbone forward and up into cobra. And exhale, lower down. Downward facing dog. Step the feet closer together. Lift the right leg up and back behind you. Bend the knee, drop the heel towards the left sitting bone. This time, instead of prioritizing that stability in the shoulders, go ahead and let your body arc open. So you can take a little bit less weight onto the right hand if it feels appropriate. Maybe even look under the right armpit and take a breath into your belly. Exhale, straighten the leg, lower it down. Inhale, knees down. Exhale, child's pose. Inhale, forward. Exhale, down dog. Step the feet closer to each other. Lift the left leg up now, bend the knee, and drop the heel behind you. Look under the left armpit and allow the body to arc open. Inhale into the belly. And exhale, lower the left leg down. Inhale, lift the heels, look forward. And exhale, make your way to the top of your mat. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reach wide, stand up. Exhale, hands to prayer. Bring your awareness a little bit deeper into your body. Notice the hips and notice your legs. Notice if one side feels different than the other. And then look down, make sure that you sure do still have both of your legs, not one of somebody else's. Spread the toes wide. Press the feet down into the earth. Reach the crown of your head up towards the sky. Reach your arms up. Draw the belly button in and then up towards the diaphragm. Shift more weight onto your left foot. Press down and reach up still. And then lift your right knee up towards your chest. Flex the right foot. Find your focus point. Keep pressing down into the standing foot, reaching up through the crown of the head and the arms. Draw your navel in towards the spine. Now anchor your front ribs back towards the back ribs. Maybe you can lift the right knee a little bit more. Take a full breath in. And then exhale, begin to transition into a long runner's lunge with the left leg in front. However, you can get there safely. And then either take the fingertips down or onto the hips and straighten the front knee, bend the back knee, and go back and forth a few times. Pause when the front knee is bent again. Place the back knee down onto something soft. And bring yourself upright. Make 2 90-degree angles with the legs. While we're building, find your block or whatever prop you're using. Move yourself around your space however you need to get something next to you on the left side. Hands to your hips. And now pull the front heel back and push the back knee forward. Relax your shoulders and your jaw. It may take multiple attempts to get the shoulders to relax. Keep doing your energetic push me, pull you. Inhale, engage 5% more. Press forward, drag back. And then exhale, release, soften. Glide the tailbone forward, tucking the pelvis under. Look for sensation on the front of the right hip flexor, maybe even all the way through the quad. You could engage the right glute a little bit more to reinforce that action. You could also bend into the front knee a little bit. Take another breath into your active stretch. And then exhale, come back up to your neutral 90s. And then head towards your side bend, towards the left, maybe reaching for the block, a piece of furniture. Reach the right arm up and over your ear. If you want to be super relaxed with this, you could even hold on to the back of the head with your right hand. And see how this side bend is working for you. How is it serving you? What would change if you were to shift the tailbone forward? What would change if you were to bend slightly into the front knee? What would happen if you were to even slightly arc the chest up towards the ceiling? Inhale. And exhale, slowly bring yourself back upright. Heel toe the left foot to the left edge of the mat. And then ease the hips forward and down. Bring your block with you. You could come down onto the hands. You could use the block on any height. You could bring the forearms down. But do prioritize a position that gives you access to creating more length in the spine. So reach the breastbone forward. Take another full breath in, reach the breastbone forward. And exhale here. Bring the front knee back to meet the back knee. Knees down, plank position. We're going to start to give the psoas some time off here, so we won't do that isometric bookending. But if you would like a little more challenge for the arms, you could choose to stay here and hold in the knees down plank, or you could bend the elbows an inch and hold. Bend them an inch and hold. Bend one more inch and hold. Find your breath. And then lower the rest of the way down slowly. Bring your forearms down onto the floor, onto the mat. Bring the elbows under the shoulders with the palms face down. Reach the legs actively behind you. Press the hands down and the forearms down and reach the breastbone forward between your arms. Draw the chin back towards your ears. Inhale, press the forearms down, reach the chest forward. And then exhale, child's pose. Take as many steps in the transition to make your way there. Walk your hands in, swing your legs out in front of you. And make your way onto your back, however you want to get there. With the knees bent, place your feet underneath your knees. Press down into your feet, lift your hips up. Start to transfer more weight onto the right foot. Maybe you imagine lifting the left foot up. What would that be like? Maybe you do, in fact, float the leg up. Maybe you lift the knee more and reach the foot all the way up towards the ceiling. Inhale, press down into your support foot, lift the hips up. And then exhale, make your way back down, both feet down, spine down, hips down. Press the feet down, lift the hips up again. Shift more weight onto your left foot. Maybe imagine lifting the right foot up. Maybe do it. Maybe lift the whole leg up. Inhale, press down, lift up. And then exhale, lower down. Hug your knees in towards your chest. Drop your knees to the right, left arm to the other side. Inhale. Exhale through center. As you stay here in the last moments of our reclined twist, notice any rebound or any chattering that's happening in the body. And use your breath to fill your inner space with breath and invite the body to become a little bit more quiet. Inhale fully. Exhale, bring the knees to center. And then lengthen yourself out. Place yourself comfortably into your final relaxation. If you are at all interested with a little bit more passive psoas stretching as you rest, then you could grab your blanket, roll it up so it's long like a sushi roll, place it across the mat, and then lie down on it so that the blanket is under the tips of the shoulder blades. Make sure that you're organized so that the shoulders can rest onto the floor, and then bend your elbows and relax the wrists onto the earth. I think one of the reasons that we teachers must constantly reinforce and remind, where is the psoas? What does it do? It's because it's one of those muscles that we can't see. We can see a bicep, we can see a hip, we can see an ab, but we can't see the psoas. So there might become curiosity about why we would even work on it. But my hope for all of us as we engage with this practice of yoga, of any mindful movement activity, is that we begin to prioritize the unseen benefits of the practice over the visible benefits. So for our last few minutes of final relaxation, of rest, can you soften a little bit more into the trust that you benefit from this time that you give yourself in ways far beyond the visible? begin to take some fuller breaths. Use the breath to create more space within your inner space. And bring the body into some wiggling or rocking movement. And bend your knees and ease yourself over onto your side. Once you're on your side, give yourself a moment to re-soften into that care you've just given yourself. And then bring yourself up into a comfortable seated position. Bring your hands together to touch in front of your heart and rub the hands together. Place one hand onto your heart, the other hand onto your belly. And offer yourself a gesture of praise. Thank you.